I will say that the Bernie Sanders people
You guys are crazy!
You're an animal! Get a job!
Freshman Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib today getting her first taste of the intense Washington spotlight.
Stand by your comments from last night.
Refusing to answer questions about this video and her profane promise to go after the president.
When your son looks at you and says, Mama, look, you won, bullies don't win. And I said, baby, they don't, because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the
At the White House, the president said it came up in his meeting with new House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
I said, why don't you use this for impeachment? And Nancy said, we're not looking to impeach you. I said, that's good, Nancy, that's good.
He called Tlaib's comments disgraceful.
I thought that was a great dishonor to her and to her family. I thought it was highly disrespectful to the United States of America.
In Detroit, the front runner, in fact, for a seat in the U.S. Congress, here led away in handcuffs. Democratic congressional candidate, in fact, sure to be really the winner of that seat, Rashida Tlaib, was among the throng of people protesting in front of a Detroit McDonald's for a $15 an hour minimum wage.
And when it all ended, she, along with former gubernatorial candidate Abdul El-Sayed, were both in police custody. So let's get right to Rod Maloney. He's live in Midtown tonight. And Rod, I understand you were there as this all happened. Fill us in here.
Yeah, it happened right here in front of the McDonald's on Woodward Avenue. And it's one of those things where there were a busload of protesters, actually a number of busloads of protesters backed by the SEIU union. And yes, this is where the arrest happened, and it becomes fairly obvious that this is the ending they want.
We work, we sweat, we want 15 on our check.
First, they rallied at a park at Warren Woodward, demanding a $15 minimum wage for everyone, especially fast food workers. The rally moved on to southbound Woodward, and now, a march, they promised to shut down restaurants until they get what they want. They came to a stop at the McDonald's on Woodward in Canfield, set up a table right in the street on the Q line tracks, and fast food worker Brittany Wilson made the case for more than a $15 minimum wage. They want the right to work law overturned as well.
And I'm here because we want a union. Do y'all hear me? We want a union. Yes, the minimum wage going up. Yes, the minimum wage is good, but it's no good without our union. Like, our union is going to protect our wages.
Sitting at that table with Brittany was Democratic congressional candidate Rashida Tlaib. They continued making their demands known when the Detroit police bus arrived. Highland Park Police told Local 4 News the protesters did not have a permit to parade on Woodward or block the street. Officers did keep things and traffic under control, and then they moved in with the handcuffs. And that's when they arrested candidate Tlaib and then carted off more than a dozen others, including vanquished gubernatorial candidate Abdul El-Sayed. Now, in all, 18 people wound up arrested. They've been charged with misdemeanor disturbing the peace, and then that rally dispersed. McDonald's put out a statement this afternoon saying that they do take pretty good care of their employees, and in fact, they pointed out that they have a scholarship program that is meant to work around the lives of its employees, believing that the protest did not really address issues that they think that they have been addressing. Now,
employees take $2.13 per hour federally. Some states, of course, here in Michigan, it's over $3.50 or so. But think about that for 1 minute. And people cannot live on those kinds of wages. And we can't allow people to be living off of tips, relying on tipped wages. It's just not, or whatever they call it, tipped income, because it's just not enough to support our families. But I also want to always tell a story, because big fights like this one, $15. By the way, when we started it, it should have been $15. Now I think it should be $20. Picture America rising here. It should be $20. No, it should be $20 an hour. $18 to $20 an hour at this point is everything, all the costs. And so when they say, oh, this is going to raise the cost, but I can tell you, milk has gone up. Eggs has gone up. Everything has gone up. The cost of food has gone up. The cost of a lot of things that we need has gone up already.
And I know what's happening out there. You know, there's all of this young women, and it's beyond just the four of us. The squad is all of you. And I can tell you, you are all the squad. Trust me. If you support equity, you support justice, you are one of us. But let me tell you, this is the largest incoming class since Watergate, ironically, and the most diverse. But I don't mean just by color and make and all these other things that they want to label us as. Some of us, this is the first time we've ever had health insurance. One of my colleagues, until she became a United States Congresswoman. Oh, another woman is a survivor of domestic violence. Some of us are hit hard with college debt. I have another woman who literally, Congresswoman Lucy McBeth, lost her only son to gun violence. And she ran on that and won a district that was a Republican district. So no, being bold, taking bold action, doesn't mean we lose. It's what we're saying here is when we fight, we win. That's how we fight. We fight by taking these kinds of actions and not saying, oh, is this strategically the right thing? No. Is it the right thing? Is it going to provide justice for all? And that's what I want to leave you all with. People said, Rashida, this is not your time. And I said, well, when is my time? I didn't know there was a line. This is a new era of the civil rights movement. And until people like us in this room run for office and get on the inside and push back, we're not going to win. So not only in the streets, not only with legislation, but also you run for office. That's how you fight and win.
As we all know, the recent tweets and words from the president are simply a continuation of his racist and xenophobic playbook. We cannot allow these hateful actions by the president to distract us from the critical work to hold this administration accountable to the inhumane conditions at the border that is separating children from their loved ones and caging them up in illegal, horrific conditions. I represent the third poorest congressional district in this country, one that is made of working people who have been targeted by this administration, and their actions and words are hurting them today. I was elected to fight for them, fight for the 13th congressional district. They sent me here to Congress to fight back against the corporate assault and the corruption in our country. This means supporting an impeachment inquiry of this president and his actions by the administration and his appointees. Sadly, this is not the first, nor will it be the last time we hear disgusting, bigoted language from the president. We know this is who he is, and we know that he and his administration are constantly engaged in actions that harm residents and American people in our country. Many members of Congress have called for his impeachment because of his utter disregard and disrespect of the United States Constitution. And despite this and other many attempts to distract us, I remain focused. We remain focused on holding him accountable to the laws of this land and accountable to the American people. I urge House leadership, many of my colleagues, to take action to impeach this lawless president today.
9/11 happened, and I was really terrified of what was going to happen to my husband, who's only a green card holder at the time. I immediately called my brothers and told them, be very careful who you hang out with. Telling my sisters, just be real careful out there, and being really afraid of my fellow Americans. It really pushed me to be more involved, and I got really curious and really angry. And I think that combination got me, in front of a number of issues in the city of Detroit.
If the Democrats want to embrace people that hate our country, people that are so far left that nobody's ever seen anything like it, if they want to embrace people that are so anti-Semitic and anti-Israel, they want to do that. That's up to them. But I don't have to do that. I think what they say and what they've said is a disgrace to them, to the Democrats, and frankly to our country.